Hi, you're back in the gun room. Tonight with me I've got Ari Freeman from the band Rhomboid. How are you tonight, Ari?
Pretty good, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. So what's been happening with the band Rhomboid?
Oh, lots of preparations for a gig we're doing on May the 26th at Blue Smoke, and that's where it's part of the Blues and Jazz Festival.
Oh, okay.
And it's with another group called Soulmates.
Yeah. And are they Christchurch or a
Yeah.
band? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're Adam Hadaway and a horn section and a rhythm section, yeah.
That'll be fantastic. So look out for that. Anyone that's into blues and jazz, that's at this, where was it?
It's at Blue Smoke,
Blue Smoke,
May
yeah.
26th.
May 26th, cool.
I think it starts at 8:30.
Yeah. So how many members are in Rhomboid? Is it just you?
So we have an expandable lineup, but the core band that I do all the originals with is me, a drummer, and a bass player who plays a 10-string bass.
I was just going to mention the 10-string bass. I was reading about that. I actually thought it was you that played it, but it's somebody else.
No, so some people might know Fudd. He was in a few bands like Mr. Onion and Jamfer back in the early 2000s.
I am old enough to remember.
Yes, well, Mr. Onion was one of our best metal acts that New Zealand produced, in my opinion.
One of the guys is now in His Master's Voice.
That's right, that's Renee. Cool, so there's the link. And Fudd used to be my bass teacher when I was a teenager, and slowly we've grown up together, and then now he joined my band.
Yeah.
But he plays a 10-string bass which goes almost an octave below an ordinary bass guitar, and it goes higher than my guitar.
Yeah,
so
sounds really interesting, yeah.
So while he's ostensibly a bass player, he plays, he can play most things an ordinary bass player can play with just his left hand, and then I can write parts for him to play, or he can come up with parts to play with his right hand.
So you write the guitar riffs and the lyrics?
I write the initial, I write the guitar riffs and the lyrics, and arrange the songs, and then I take suggestions from everyone. So some of them are more collaborative, and some are more me delivering almost finished product. But we've had a few, people definitely add their personality in, and it's gone to the point where I'm writing specifically for the abilities of the people in the band, especially Fudd.
Awesome. And so you've got an album out? Yeah,
so we've got it's even on CD. So this is our debut album, which came out a couple of years ago, 2016. And after the funk gig, I'm going to start recording album number 2, and that's going to take as long as it takes, but I'm hoping to get it done by the end of the year.
So how would you describe, for people that haven't seen Rhomboid live, how would you describe it? Because I have read the description on Facebook, and it's like, I can't remember it to repeat it.
Well,
but it sounds pretty interesting.
As a short description, I call it psychedelic funk.
Yeah.
Because it incorporates a lot of influence from 60s music, but it also incorporates little bits of heavy metal, bits of alternative 90s rock. It's all sorts of stuff, and quite a lot of jazz as well. So it's really a vehicle for me to express all the stuff I want.
And high energy on stage?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I consider music a type of magic, and to me, I know I'm doing a good job if I'm playing the right spell to make people dance.
Yeah, so it's, magic, okay, so you're a wizard?
I am a wizard, that's right.
So is it true you're the Deputy Wizard of Christchurch?
Yeah, so I'm the primary assistant to the Wizard of New Zealand, the famous one who's still around.
He's 85 now?
He's 85, that's right. But he's still out most days talking to people around the square and New Regent Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think the Wizard started doing speeches in the square in 1974.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, that's the year I was born.
Oh, very good.
He was like giving Telecom a hard time over the colour of phone boxes.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. I think Telecom enjoyed that one too.
Yeah, there's a few.
We won the battle on a couple, so there's still a couple of red telephone boxes around Christchurch.
So are you going to be as controversial?
No, I'm a bit more passive than him.
So we can't expect to see you on a set of steps in the city anytime soon?
We'll see how I do with the public speaking, but I prefer to express myself through music, and he's quite okay with that so far. Yeah.
So you can do that publicly in places like the square?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Have you done that yet?
I have been out with my guitar running around playing guitar solos through the city, yes.
Cool, I'll look out for you.
Yeah.
Anyone in Christchurch walking around, make sure you look out for the new wizard.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how did you get into this?
Well, it's hard to answer, but it's sort of one of those things where you're down a path, and several years into it, you figure out what it is you're doing.
And so when you were younger, did you come across the wizard yourself?
Yeah, for sure.
And you're just fascinated by him? Or?
Well, I have an older brother who was interested in him. I think in the early 80s, I lived in Westport when I was a little kid between the ages of 3 and 6, and he visited Westport at some point then around the time that he disappeared to escape the census.
Oh,
and
right, yeah.
Did a campaign delivering thousands and thousands of little badges and stickers saying, "I believe the wizard disappeared on census night." And the whole point was
I remember that.
yeah, the government no official could prove that he hadn't disappeared.
That's amazing, isn't it? Definitely gone down in history.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. And he's still living in the house here in Christchurch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't there a fire there at some stage?
Around 2002, there was an arson on his house, and no one ever got to the bottom of it.
That's
but
right, yeah.
He woke up and there was some people flooding sort of there as well, and he got up and saved everyone basically, and that was that. He lost a lot of his clothes and books and a lot of things. Yeah.
No, he's definitely a legend. That's for sure. I hope you do follow in his footsteps and
Yeah.
he's still around in years time.
I think it's important for Christchurch that I'd like to see going because it's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
And I like encouraging people to express themselves.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people walk around thinking about what they can't do.
And so worried about what other people think. You know, I think
Yeah.
a lot of people, their lives are controlled about, you know, what other people think of them.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
they don't end up doing what they want or saying what
Well,
they
the big thing is you can change yourself. And in changing yourself, you change the way you express yourself to the world, and then you get different things in return.
That's right.
And people, that way you can take responsibility for your actions.
Yeah.
But you're not trapped. You can get away with much more than you think. That's that's my
Especially
motto.
if you can cast spells.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Well, sure. I mean, I think people have lost track with what a spell originally meant, and it's an old word meaning to say something or to speak out about something. So like a word like gospel, like in Christianity means God's spell means the announcement. So the way you express yourself, like for instance, charm is a magical word, and fashion and makeup and how women wear things, women are all about that. If they want to get people to pay attention to them, a lot of women know how to express themselves in such a way that the attention's given to
Especially
them.
in this day and age.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Men need to catch up on that front. But there's also authority, and all authority is a faith-based structure as well. So, like, why the police the police? Well, because it's better having that authority structure around than not having it. Most people agree.
Yeah.
And same with the government, you people you vote in. So when you have an election, for instance, it's charm. It's this expression that someone puts out into the world that captures people's attention, and then they decide to vote. This is how the world works most of the time.
Yeah.
We don't live in an objective world. We mostly live in a subjective world.
Well, it's controlled, isn't it?
Yeah, well, sometimes it's controlled, and sometimes it just is. Some people are aware of what they're putting out into the world, and some people aren't. But if you don't like what you're getting, change your belief system, I think.
Yeah. It's so true. And so the word rhomboid.
Yeah, so rhomboid's a shape, and you can see there's a lot of
Yeah,
shapes
and I
all
was
over
looking
me.
at that too. Did you make this?
Yeah, I painted it. So a friend made the outfit, and I painted it. Oh, I wonder if I can some more of it. And it's based somewhat on a stained glass window, and it's also based on musical numerology. So in music, you've got 12 notes. So there's 12 shapes around here, and you've got a 7-note scale, which is a major scale. So there's 7 shapes here, and then there's 5 sharps, and they're here. So this whole thing creates a structure, and in music you have a pattern that people recognize, and then over time, over a song, this is especially in psychedelic prog music, it starts to get expressed in different ways, and then it gets jumbled, and you see the pattern repeat down here, and then at the bottom the pattern from the top repeats. So it's like a expression of a musical journey.
You thought that up. That
Yeah.
came out of your mind.
Absolutely. And it's also a little bit like a stained glass window in a church.
I was going to say
Yeah.
it's not like the one in the cathedral.
Somewhat.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you think about what they're going to do with the cathedral?
I'd like to see it repaired. I think it's the
Yeah.
heart of the city.
I think they should just leave it like it is and let plants grow through it and everything, and maybe
Well,
you know, like when you go to England and Scotland,
Yeah.
they've still got the ruins.
yeah, I mean
of,
that's
of
better
ancient
than nothing.
buildings.
Yeah.
Maybe even just that would be better than
But we have
totally
the
demolishing it.
we
for
have
sure.
the opportunity. We do have the stonemasons. We do have the expertise to repair it
Yeah.
and do a good job. So around the corner on Manchester Street, the Trinity Church is currently being repaired, all in stone, beautifully to its old.
So have you heard anything about what, like an update?
Oh yeah, they've decided
Yeah.
to repair it.
Oh, they
it's just
have.
going to be stuck in the argument for a while until
As
it
long as
really
they don't
gets
repair
done.
it with paper too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But no, the decision's been made to repair it after a long
Oh,
battle.
that's good. Okay, well,
Yeah.
it's time for that step ladder to come out
Yeah.
then outside
Well,
the cathedral.
The main person standing in the way was the Anglican bishop, and she quit after that announcement.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think so.
Okay, so have you toured around New Zealand with Rhomboid, or have you just been doing like? 'Cause
No,
how
I've
long
been
have you been
do-
around for? Sorry.
Oh, a few years, maybe 4 or so.
Oh, okay, so not
Yeah.
not ages, but yeah.
No, I've been slowly building up with local shows. So we do original shows, and I write a lot of original music for it. But we also do themed shows. So we've done most recently a psychedelic Beatles show, where it's all
Cool.
based on
Where was
stuff
that?
from their
How
last albums.
come I
That was
didn't
at
know about
Wunderbar.
that? At the where? The
Wunderbar.
Oh, the Wonder Bar in
Yeah.
Littleton. Okay, yeah, they have some good gigs on there.
Yeah,
don't they?
absolutely. So I
Yeah.
like using the Wunderbar because they let us do anything. We can decorate the
Okay,
whole
I'll have
place.
to keep my eyes peeled for more of
Yeah.
your gigs. Yeah, we have to pop them on the Third Eye page so everyone can
Absolutely. Yeah.
everyone can check them out.
That'd be
'Cause,
great.
yeah, it's good to go and see something different. I know I go to
Yeah.
a lot of metal gigs, so I'm
Yeah.
sure one of yours would be something
Oh, it'll be
different.
fun. You like
Yeah.
it, I think.
Cool.
There's
So
some heavy metal. I think everyone likes heavy metal for up to 12 bars, and
Yeah,
then you've
especially
got
in
to change it up
Christchurch.
sometimes.
I love their metal in Christchurch.
For sure.
Oh, that's
And-
good. So just repeat where your gig is. It's in May.
So the funk themed show is in May, at the May the 26th
Yeah.
at Blue Smoke,
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So make sure to check
about
that out.
8:30 p.m.
8:30. Awesome. And maybe we'll pop something up on the Third Eye page about that, just so to refresh,
Yeah, thanks, that'd be
refresh people's
great.
memories. Yeah. Check that out. So you've brought your guitar here. I know you said
Yeah.
to me earlier when you arrived that you actually made this.
Yeah,
built
so
it?
I do a lot of things, but I also have built some of my own instruments. So this is my magical guitar. It's called Coagula.
And you actually built that from scratch, have you?
Yeah, these are old floorboards from the place I used to live.
Oh, well, what kind of wood is that?
It's Remu,
Remu.
native recycled Remu.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Well, you might have to show us how it goes.
Okay.
Woo! Fantastic.
So I brought in a couple of CDs, one's for you,
Oh, thank you. I'll give that a listen tonight.
and this one can go out to someone who makes the most interesting comment about a memory about the wizard.
Well, thanks for coming into the gun room. It's been really good having you here, and maybe we could get you back again in a few months after
Yeah.
you've done some gigs and tell us what's been happening. I'm really keen to catch up with you again about the whole wizard thing.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So is he actually going to retire? Or
No, I
is
don't
he-
think wizards retire. I think they just keep going till
So
they
they just-
keel over.
Right, and when
So
he
he
does,
might be alive for another 20 years, as far as I know.
Who knows? He could be alive for another 200.
I'm no hurry.
I'm hoping to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Ariel, thanks again for coming in, and
Yep.
we'll catch up again soon.
Great.
Thanks for watching.